that's definitely one of the things that popped out to me is the minutes played from especially those three, because the last three games was it Nembhard is 40 36 38, Hickman 40 37 36, Dusty is 40 33 35, and I'm less concerned about maybe Hickman and Nembhard because those are college basketball veterans. They've been here before. The more concerning one to me is probably Dusty Stromer, only because he is a true freshman. This is brand new to him. And that right now I think it's fine, but as we get into like mid-January into February, like how's that wear and tear going to be? And maybe there's someone on that bench that could step up. But that is, to me, like that's maybe the more concerning one, because I'm with you. Like I've loved the way Dusty has played defense to this point. I think his offensive game is starting to slowly come into form, which I think was fine for what Gonzaga needed at this point. But just his minutes, that just seems like so many minutes for a freshman, and to have that much reliance upon him, because I'm just trying to think of, because if he doesn't play now, and I know Gonzaga planned to have two other guys initially here, like this was also going to be Steele Venters. You hopefully, I mean, obviously health reasons, sideline Caden Perry, and he stepped away from the game. But I mean, man, this, that's my one big concern is for Dusty long term in this season.
Yeah, and it's a completely fair concern. And I'd toss in the fact that Nolan Hickman in his first 2 years has really fallen off a cliff towards the end of the season, and that's something that worries me a bit too. He as a freshman, you're kind of like, okay, freshmen often hit a wall in February, but he did it last year too, and Gonzaga really needed him last year, and I think he had like 8 points in the NCAA tournament across 4 games, and 6 of them were against Grand Canyon. Like he struggled towards the end of the year, and so I think the conditioning for him has gotten better, but it's a concern that that's happened 2 years in a row. And in terms of the 3 position, I think the guy they're really hoping for there is Jun-Suk Yo, the South Korean 21-year-old. You could tell Gonzaga wasn't expecting a big role for him this year. They were kind of hoping he'd be 8th, 9th man, kind of playing a little like freshman year Rui Hachimura minutes, where he's just coming in garbage time, and he's kind of a hellraiser on the floor, but he's not really integrated into the offense or defense. And I think that was the plan with Yo, and now they have to kind of have him ready to potentially play more minutes. He only played 1 minute against USC at the end of the first half, just to prevent anybody from picking up a third foul. And I think we might see him get more of a role when you can tell the talent is very clearly there. He's 6'8", he's strong, he's a legitimate small forward. He can shoot the three, he blocks some shots, but he's also out of position a lot and taking shots he shouldn't be taking. You can just tell he's still finding his spot in the offense. So I think Gonzaga's hoping one of Yo or Krajinovic can step into a more consistent role, but you can tell that wasn't the plan before the season, and obviously losing Steele Venters after the season had already started, but before Gonzaga had played. I mean, that's a really tough blow. I think the plan was for Steele to start at the 3. Dusty would be playing a 20-ish, 25-minute role off the bench, and I think a lot of people would already be clamoring for him to start over Steele if Steele had been healthy. But not having that depth option, Steele could play the 2 potentially and put some less pressure on Nembhard and Hickman, and they just don't have that. And it's unfortunate the offseason went the way that it did, with not only losing Perry, like you said, but Alex Tui was a guy who decommitted from the program. He was, I think, expected to play some 3. They had the month-long saga of Marcus Adams Jr. commits to Gonzaga, leaves to go to BYU before he ever steps foot on campus. Like, they had some plans in place, some guys that I think I don't know how much they were going to rely on Adams, but they had guys that they were expecting to potentially play some minutes, and everything kind of fell apart at the end, and just leading right up into the season with the Venters injury. And the fact that they're playing this well with all of those issues that they had in the offseason is a testament to Coach Few and the talent that they have on the roster. But yeah, it's hard to not have in the back of your head at least some concern about this depth on this team, and then the amount of minutes a freshman like Stromer's playing.